Alright, we got how MP became the most successful group on YouTube. First, before we start, go follow my Twitch right there. I will be start streaming on there. Right now, I am streaming on YouTube. As you can see, no viewers. That's sad. Y'all tune in, please. Let's start with the video.
Okay, so I'm sure most of you are familiar with one of the biggest groups on YouTube named AMP.
Yeah,
they've become one of the biggest content creation groups on the internet over the past few years. And for the most part, I feel like we all pretty much know this backstory. At least I thought we all knew this backstory up until I saw this clip surfacing around the internet.
I shouldn't know who Chris V is. I shouldn't know who Chris Next Door is. I should know who Kai Cenat is because you are the driving force in it. But them I shouldn't even know who they are.
If you guys don't know what AMP is, that is Kai Cenat's group.
That's the problem. Kai Cenat shouldn't have a group. You have to insulate
It's
yourself.
not his group, bro. It's a group, but it's not his group. It's a group. It's the group that he's in, bro. Y'all gotta stop capitalizing Kai's name on the front headlines of something that he did not do, bro.
At the end of the day, like, that group doesn't mean anything without him.
And this clip would even lead to a response from certain AMP members, even Kai Cenat himself. And that's what made me realize that maybe there isn't many people that actually knows the history of AMP. So what's really the history of AMP and how did it become as big as it is now? Well, that's probably what you're here to figure out. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Trap House with the biggest trapper.
Hey, y'all go sub to him, man. Y'all go sub to him,
down below in my description to join my Discord server and become an official member of the community. So with all of that being said, let's get into how AMP was even created. So as we all know, the AMP that we all know and love featured 6 key members. These members included Duke Dennis, Kai Cenat, Phantom, Agent 00, Chris Next Door, and the person that y'all swear I look like the most. No, it's not Dr. Umar, it's actually I'm Davis. So those are the 6 key members of AMP. I'm sure many of you already knew that, but what if I told you some of these members were never originally supposed to be an AMP to begin with? So originally back in 2019, Agent wanted to move to the United States from Canada, and while in the process of moving, he had this idea to create a big content creator house, but he wanted to do this house in Los Angeles, and this was primarily supposed to be like a 2K community content house because the original members that were supposed to be in AMP included YouTubers
it was 2K because
call it Peter Mick, Mike Rezemba, and of course Agent Davis and Phantom.
There was a whole bunch of other people involved that we talked to, maybe like 7, 8 content creators, and we're gonna get like this big ass house in LA.
Are you're not gonna bring their names up?
Peter was one of the people. We briefly talked to Cheeseaholic about it. We talked to all these people just to see, like, gauge interest. Like, yo, would you be down for something like this? Most people were really interested.
And this entire idea was also ran by a few other content creators as well. But originally, it was all Agents and Phantom's idea. But the entire plans of the original AMP group would end up falling through.
Long story short, the LA plans fell through. A couple people pulled away. And then a couple other people were like, they had doubt. They're like, I don't know, because it's commitment to move into a house full of people and start a big thing.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work. And so they pulled out, and then everyone kind of just pulled out in fear, and then LA flopped.
So this would lead to Agent having to find somewhere else to move to, and he ultimately ended up picking Atlanta. And he chose Atlanta because him and his cousin Waleed, who also has like a key role in everything the AMP does, they both knew some people
in the
area, so that's why they chose.
I didn't know Waleed was I didn't do that. I didn't know Waleed was cousins with Agent. Bro, I lived 2 hours from ATL, bro. I was in ATL like a few months ago.
Spot, and one of the people that Agent knew that lived in Atlanta was Davis. So after Agent officially moved to Atlanta, this is where him and Davis would start collabing a lot, making lots of content together. So this would lead to Agent wanting to revisit the entire AMP idea, and Agent would also mention that he was just really infatuated with this idea of AMP simply because he was motivated just from a business standpoint with other big organizations such as FaZe Clan.
So in my mind, I'm trying to think like, how can we create lifetime wealth? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, think about FaZe Temper, FaZe Rain. Even if they own like 10 to 15% of FaZe Clan, that's worth millions, probably tens of millions of dollars each. So in the event that they end up selling, that's some lifelong wealth.
So after doing these videos with Davis and went to revisit the idea of AMP, he would then reach back out to Phantom, Duke, and Davis to see if they just wanted to still try out the whole content group thing with AMP. And it turns out all of them were still really big on the idea, so they all agreed to do it. So this would lead to the creation of AMP, but this wouldn't be the end of the story at all. So you guys know, just because you have a team of 4 people, that was only the basis of what AMP needed to start. They also needed editors and things like that to make sure these videos are getting done correctly and all the time. So this is where they Chris Next Door.
Yes,
originally, Chris would start off with just being the editor for AMP. So now that they
that was whenever like they used to have like the bodyguard edits, bro.
And they had a great editor in Chris Next Door. This would lead to them posting their first official video on the AMP YouTube channel titled AMP 2v2 Tag Team Boxing. I don't remember the exact view count that it had like when it originally released. It's at 2 million now, but obviously like that's inflated. But I genuinely remember this video being like a banger because at the time no one had seen a group channel come from the 2K community quite like this. They were all still very early in their careers, but they were all also still very big names within the 2K community. So after the success of the very first upload, they continued posting more and more videos weekly. And the type of content AMP was producing at this time consisted of a lot of different challenges or like basketball content. And they would stick to having just the 4 key members in the videos for about 3 months, all the way up until June 22nd, where they would officially feature Chris Next Door in a video. And this video was titled AMP Game of 21.
Hey, bro, he was
now,
tough before he,
think this is one of AMP's
like
best
before he freaking hurt himself, bro.
If
He
you're
was
into
tough.
like basketball
Actually,
content like I am, I would highly recommend going back to watch this video. But this would be the very first video that Chris was ever featured in, and he would end up becoming a fan favorite. And this would lead to him being featured in more videos over time. And this continued on for about 3 months and led all the way up to the point where they would include another person in their videos. And this time it would be Casanat appearing in his first ever AMP video, which was an AMP 2v2 basketball showdown. Now, of course, Casanat wasn't actually hooping in this video because we all know he's terrible, but he was like more of a side character. He was a sideline personality, and he had like some funny moments throughout this video, and that led to fans really liking Kai's energy with the rest of the group. Now, at the time of recording this video, Casanat had about 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, maybe a little over 100,000. And at this time, Kai was really mostly known for doing skits, as well as doing like ding dong ditch videos at his college. But with Casanat being from the Bronx, which is the same place that Phantom's from in New York, this would eventually lead to the two of them linking up and forming a bit of a relationship. And this is where Phantom would end up seeing a lot of potential in Casanat and invited Kai to come out to Atlanta with him to do an AMP shoot.
Phantom came to me and was like, yo, I'm in a group called AMP, and I want you to like, I'm trying to tell them about you, and I was wondering if you like just watch what we got on the channel and see if like you interested. And then like, long story short, I was watching, and then he said, yo, you gonna fly out with me like next month or whatever, which I did.
And this moment would end up changing Casanat's life entirely. So like I stated just now, he was first introduced in the 2v2 video as like more of a sideline character. He didn't really have like a big role. But just 2 weeks later, he would reappear in another basketball video that AMP did titled AMP Plays 3v3 for a Lamborghini. And during this video, he had a much bigger role. He was on one of the 3v3 teams. And even though he wasn't like officially an AMP member at this point, they still introduced him in the videos as AMP Casanat. And Kai would do great in this video, like not great playing basketball, but just in overall terms of being completely entertaining and entertaining the viewer and the fans. And this just led to him building more chemistry with AMP and just meshing well with all of the fans that AMP had already gained. And he will also feature in the very next AMP video, which was titled AMP $100 Walmart Outfit Competition. And they will also introduce him once again as AMP Casanat. And after how well this video shoot went and how much the supporters were loving Casanat, this will be the day that Kai would officially become a member of AMP. And after this is where things really started to kick off for AMP. Like they were already doing good with the original 4 people that they had, but once they added Chris and Kai to their videos, it just added 2 more great personalities to the content. This will lead to them all starting to grow very rapidly and eventually lead to them getting their first group content house in Atlanta. And after they got the very first AMP house, the rest is complete history. Like they will all start going extremely viral, which led to them getting their first 1 million subscribers on the AMP channel, as well as many other individual achievements. And speaking of individual achievements, this is where we have to talk about this whole like AMP is nothing without Casanat nonsense. Anyone who's been keeping up with this video or even knew about the history prior to this video, we all know that AMP has always been a bunch of people who are each successful individually. And it's been that way since it was just 4 of them. Each of them were already big in the 2K community, and after it expanded to them getting Chris and Casanat, that will only continue. But let's just get that about the way. They're all individually successful. They all do their thing outside of AMP. And granted, you can say that, okay, Casanat did help AMP out a lot, of course. Yes, he's probably the most popular member of AMP. Yes, he's the most popular Twitch streamer on the platform. Yes, he's a lot of these things, but that doesn't make AMP nothing if you remove him from the situation. Just like Kai helps out AMP a lot, AMP helped Casanat out a lot as well in the early stages of his
that man
career.
Kai really grew up. Like, but look at him right now, and then like you can see how like he
In
grew
fact,
up.
recently Kai Cenat would even go
like,
live and reply back to
he
this
look grown
podcaster's
now.
statement, and this is what Kai had
Obviously.
to say.
First of all, everybody individually has motion. Individually. Bro, AMP has changed my life, nigga. Without AMP, nigga, I feel like a large amount of my life I will be like lost and still trying to figure shit out. Like, real shit, that was mad disrespectful, bro.
So yeah, if anyone really deserves like a lot of credit for AMP, it's Phantom. Because Phantom was like one of the original people who came up with the idea for this. He even came up with the name AMP himself. So in my personal opinion, like just give everyone in AMP their respect, because we've truthfully never really seen anything like this with an entire group of creators. I truthfully think the only other group that you could say is like the Sidemen, and they've been around for years at this point. I just personally think each member of AMP plays their own key role, and they're each important in their own way to the videos. Like, if you wanted to remove any one of the 6 AMP members from any of the group videos, like, the channel will probably never be the same again. That's because they each are important and have their own specific dynamic. But that's just my personal opinion on this.
Whenever Phantom was going for a while, bro, you remember that? Whenever Phantom was just like, he wasn't nowhere to be found, bro. It didn't feel right, bro, because everybody has their each individual importance.
You guys know that the only opinion that I really care about is you guys' opinion. So let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about this whole situation? Do you think that AMP would be nothing without Kai Cenat? Or do you think that they each deserve their own personal credit for what they all bring to the table? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And while you're at it, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join me on my journey to 7,000 subscribers.
Y'all up to him, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we help content creators out here, but we ain't gatekeeping, bro. We're helping content creators out here, bro. Goes up to him. I appreciate y'all boys. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm live, bro. I be live on here. I'm sorry, going live every other day or something. I don't know, bro. Go to my go follow my Twitch. Y'all comment down below in the videos. I will reply to y'all. I will see y'all boys later.